Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Global Desis. A couple of months ago, I made a decision that shocked my family and friends. I left my corporate job, one that paid me very well but left me feeling empty, and pursued work that aligned more with my values. Yes, it did mean taking a significant pay cut, and yes, people obviously questioned my sanity. But here's the thing, my friends, I only had the courage to make this leap because I spent over 3 years building financial confidence and setting up systems that work for me and my family. It all started during the dreaded COVID period. We suddenly felt that we had some unspent money sitting around, and I realized I had absolutely no idea what to do with it. That's when I began to educate myself about money, about investments, about taxes, and about the basics of financial planning. And today, I want to share some of my learnings with you. So my examples may be UK based, but the principles apply anywhere in the world. The tools may differ, but the fundamentals of smart money management are universal. So stay with me, my friends. I used to be the kind of person who just let the minimum pension contribution get deducted from my salary automatically. I had no idea where the money was invested, and I had no clue about the tax benefits of pensions. Nothing. I'd look at my annual pension statement and panic a little, thinking that it's probably not going to be enough for my retirement, and then do absolutely nothing. Does it sound familiar? But all of this changed, my friends, when I realized that I was basically sleepwalking through my financial life. Thanks to YouTube and some great books later, I now finally have woken up to how I was unknowingly helping build others' wealth and not mine. So in this video, my friends, I'm sharing 5 practical money moves that gave me the confidence not only to switch jobs, but more importantly, help me progress towards the long-term financial resilience that is so important. These are not textbook theories, and these are real strategies that I've implemented, tested, sometimes failed, and therefore refined. If you saw a recent video on how the middle class is unknowingly funding the rich, you'll know this one hits close to home. Many of you messaged back asking, okay, I get the problem. I know I'm in a money trap, but what do I do about it? So my friends, this video is your roadmap to action. A quick heads up, my friends. The first and the last money moves were absolute game changers in my financial journey. So make sure you watch till the end. Money move number 1. Pay yourself first. This is the game changer that started it all. This one completely shifted my mindset. I used to save whatever was left at the end of the month, which, let's be honest, was often next to nothing. By the last week of the month, I used to feel anxious. And it turns out that the problem wasn't my income. Education taught me that the problem was with my system. So I started flipping the script. Instead of saving last, I paid myself first, automatically. The day after payday, before I could spend anything, a fixed amount would move into a savings account. I started with just about £75 a month. You can start with whatever amount you are comfortable with. But here's the magic, my friends. Within 3 months, I didn't even realize that I was missing the £75. Moreover, we did not realize that there was any compromise at all in our lifestyle either. According to behavioral economics, automated saving increases wealth accumulation by 3 to 4% annually compared to manual saving. So try to automate it, my friends. And here's what you can do. Set up a standing order for the day after your payday. And you can start small. It can even be £50 a month. That actually becomes £600 a year. And with compound interest at 4% over 20 years, that's over £18,000 of money that you thought you did not have. Think about it. I personally just use my bank's savings goals feature. That works well for me. But you can choose what suits you best. It's the change in mindset that is more powerful. Paying yourself first turns saving from an afterthought to your top priority. You're treating your future self as your most important bill to pay. Money move number 2 is switching to low-fee index investing. I wish I'd started sooner, but hey, here we are. For years, money sat in my current accounts, earning a laughable 0.1% interest, or sometimes not at all. And inflation, as you know, quietly eats it away. I learned through education that the wealthy seldom chase hot or trending stocks. They invest in boring, low-cost index funds, and they let time and compounding do the work for them. The The average UK savings account loses 2.3% of purchasing power annually, and yours might too. And also, global stock markets have historically returned 7 to 10% easily per year over the long run. So here's what you can do, my friends. Open a stocks and shares ISA on a reputable low-fee platform. There are several platforms out there. Start with broad market index funds. Look for total fees which are less than 0.5%. And for our global viewers, this is like investing in exchange-traded funds in the US or superannuation funds in Australia or even mutual fund platforms in India. Just £200 a month invested at 7% can grow to over $500,000 in 30 years. Equally, pay attention to the fees. Even a 1% difference in fees can cost you tens of thousands over a period of time. It's not at all about being clever, my friends. It's just about being consistent. Money move number 3 is making your money more tax efficient. Have you ever considered this? Pull out your bank statements and your pay slips. You might observe that your biggest expenses may not even be your rent or your mortgage. It may in fact be the tax that you pay, some of which the government allows you to legally reduce. Due to my hands-off attitude to money, I realized I was overpaying tax by thousands every year just because I was not educated enough about the tax reliefs available to me. After making a few changes, I realized I can now save over £2,500 a year in tax, and that's money that's free to compound and grow. And let's do this drill again, my friends. It's worth doing again and again. £2,500 saved and invested at 7% becomes over £100,000 in 20 years. And here's how you can do it. First, look for salary sacrifice options. Increase your pension contributions. It will lower your taxable income and give you more money to invest for the future. In the UK, the average salary is about £37,000. And if you sacrifice £2,000 of that into your pension, it not only saves you £640 in taxes every year, it also boosts your retirement pot by the full £2,000. Secondly, look for other ways of maximizing your savings allowances. In the UK, we get an ISA allowance of £20,000 per year, which is use it or lose it. The money within this account can be enjoyed tax-free wherever you need it at a later stage. For international friends, think about Roth IRA in the US, ELSS in India, or tax-free savings in Australia that my friend Jijo will tell you more about. Even claiming simple reliefs like work-from-home allowances or marriage allowances can save you hundreds of pounds in tax every year. It is reported that over £24 billion in tax relief go unclaimed every year in the UK. Don't be part of that statistic. Spend just one afternoon in a year reviewing your tax setup, and it's probably the highest return task you'll ever do that entire year. Money move number 4, tracking your spending without going crazy. I used to think expense tracking meant painful spreadsheets and logging every coffee purchase. I felt it was too cumbersome, so I avoided it altogether, and that made things worse. So finally, what worked for me was simple awareness. Every month, I do a 10-minute snapshot. That's it. What is my income? What are my top 5 spending categories? And are there any big expenses that are expected in the coming weeks and months? That's it. No drama. You don't even need spreadsheets if you don't want them. This level of awareness can reveal some actual mind-blowing stuff, like how much you're spending every month on subscriptions that you don't use, or on takeaways that you could possibly avoid, and you don't even realize it. Research shows that people who mindfully track spending save an average of over £600 every year, and even without feeling deprived. And here's a bonus tip for you, my friends. Shop around every year for your broadband, energy, and insurance renewals. These companies bank on you not switching. I've known people who haven't switched in 20 years. But I save a fair chunk of money just by comparing deals annually. Loyalty doesn't always pay. Also, use cashback sites if you can for that extra little cashback treat. I'll drop a referral link below for cashback site that I use in the UK. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it'll give us both a little bonus. And if you make a purchase, you get some cashback too. And you can choose what you want to do with your cashback. You can either use it for some guilt-free spending or invest if you choose to see the magic of compounding. Money move number 5, my friends. This was the other big game changer for me. Building a no-stress emergency fund. Before I had an emergency fund, I lived with constant low-level anxiety. One unexpected bill could throw everything off and push me to a debt. Statistics show that 34% of the UK adults have less than £100 in savings. And that's a terrifying statistic. I started with a goal of just having 3 months of essential, no-frill expenses set aside as a buffer. Initially, it sounded impossible. But starting with just 10 or 20 pounds a week is crucial. Just start. Put this into a separate high-interest savings account. Don't even look at it. 2 years in or 3 years in, you hit your goal without even feeling the pinch. The result? Like me, no panic, no credit card stress. Mind you, I still use my credit card for convenience and tracking purposes and pay it off in full each month, but I avoid getting into the debt trap. Even £500 or the equivalent in your currency in emergency savings can be life-changing when it's needed most. My friends, you don't need a massive salary to build wealth. You just need consistency and time. Small habits repeated over time can lead to life-changing results. Let's do the drill again. £500 a month invested at 7 to 8% grows to over £125,000 in 10 years. And wait for the magic of compounding. It nearly snowballs into £600,000 in 25 years. Many people who I know are close to financial independence, but not massive earners. They did not get huge windfalls, but they had the power of discipline and the awareness about money. So here's what I encourage you to do. Take action this week. And here's how to start without overwhelm. Just pick 1 or 2 of these 5 moves that resonate with you and implement it this week, but do it this week. You could increase your pension by 1 to 2%, open a high-interest savings account, look for any unused subscriptions and cancel them, or even consider switching your broadband provider and use a cashback site. Just do a 10-minute money check-in this week, either by yourself or with your partner. Don't wait until you have time. These steps will give you time and money freedom in the future. You don't need to do everything. You just need to start. So my friends, if this video helped you, please give it a like. It helps us reach other people and families like yourselves. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the Global Desis for honest and thoughtful conversations on money, migration, and meaning. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one.